Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I was asked in the comment section of one of my videos, do I do requests on certain subjects like slip roads? From Michelle this is. Michelle asked me, can I do a little bit on slip roads and what you should be doing, procedure and that sort of thing. As Michelle's only just passed her test, or fairly recently passed her test, wanted some advice. So I can do that. I'm not a driving instructor, remember, but I am an old git with loads of experience. Next month, June, I would have been on the road 40 years. 40 years. Yes. Ouch. And most of them 40 years have been driving for a living as well. Not just been able to be on the road, actually driving for a living. So there's a vast amount of experience there. And I've got to say, in almost 40 years of driving for a living, I've not received any points, any fines or anything like that on my license. Where the hell's a piece of wood? Touch wood. I may get some wording mixed up and all that sort of stuff in this, and I do expect a bit of a backlash in the comment section. I get that anyway. So let's just crack on and see what happens. So the first thing we need to understand is what a slip road is for. All a slip road is for is so the person joining the motorway can actually speed up to the traffic what's already going on the motorway. So you can adjust to the speed. So there's no point in driving at 30 miles an hour when everyone on the motorway is driving at 70. You've got to speed up to the speed whatever they're doing, so you can join in without actually making someone slow down or move over into another lane. Now, I know some driving instructors are teaching people to actually slow down for people coming onto the motorway, but that is just so wrong. It's not what you're supposed to do. It's not in the highway code that that's what you're supposed to do. It's all down about you coming on the motorway should be adjusting your speed. You either speed up or slow down to enter the motorway. Don't ever rely on anyone else to adjust their speed or move over, because sometimes they just cannot do it. It's as simple as that. Having said all of that though, if you're on the motorway and you see someone coming on and you can accommodate them by either reducing your speed or moving out a lane, then do it. It's all about helping out others, but the people coming onto the motorway do not expect it, that's what I'm basically saying. Do not expect any favours, because sometimes they just won't be able to help you out. Now, before I show you the clips of the slip road, something happened just now on this clip here that you might have all missed. I'm going to show you at the end of this video what you might have missed there. And let me know in the comment section below if you actually saw it first time without me actually pointing it out. You had to be very, very quick. So we'll get on to the slip roads now. This is me entering the good old M25. And this is just a normal slip road, and this is how you're supposed to do it. This is a normal one. You drive down the slip road, gaining speed, you indicate, and then you pull out into the lane 1 while looking in your mirrors and all that. You should all know that anyway. You look in your mirrors and everything else. But what you wouldn't have known is that I was helped out by this guy here. He was in the inside lane. He didn't have to. I had it all under control, but he moved out to accommodate me, to make it easier for me. And I'll show you it from the rear camera in a second as we're coming on here. I'm gaining up the speed there, and you can see the pickup truck is in the inside lane there, and he thinks that we're going to hit at the same time, and so he moves out. Makes it nice and easy for me to pull out. So that was really nice and considerate driving by the pickup truck. He didn't have to do that. I had it all under control. I could have just left my accelerator alone, slowed down a little bit, and just let him go past me and pulled in further down the slip road. As you can see, we're far enough away from each other anyway. But as I keep saying, don't expect it. Sometimes that pickup truck would have had someone to his right hand side and would not have been able to do that. So you just got to play it by ear. Everyone is different. Every slip road is actually different, and everybody's driving mentality is different as well. Now in this one, I know that there's a slip road coming up on my left hand side. I'm overtaking, and I'm overtaking quite close to the slip road. Am I going to go into the left hand lane now? No, I'm not. I'm just going to wait here until we get past the junction, and after the junction I'll move over to the left. But accommodating them, I've been stitched up by this little car to my left hand side, which has moved out into lane 2 for no reason whatsoever. So now I'm going too slow for lane 3 really, He is going too slow for lane 2 and he's not overtaking anything, so I've got to reduce my speed to come in behind it. So sometimes you do them a favour and you get stitched up yourself. So we go to the rear camera now, and it was all about lane discipline with that other car. It's got none, basically. And there must have been a sale on down at the Range Rover bloody warehouse there. Buy 2, get 1 free. They're everywhere at the moment, the Range Rovers. So we're just coming up to that slip road, and I'll just show you that there was a car behind that car that went into lane 2. There's a slip road now on the right hand side as we're looking at it. And guess what? It was another bloody Range Rover that also goes into lane 2 for no apparent reason. Something wrong with that junction, I think. Now on this slip road, I'm not too familiar with this slip road. I really ain't. And you've just seen people accommodate people. Well, now you'll see the complete opposite from a bloody idiot that just shows no consideration for anyone else other than himself. And it is a really short slip road, so you've got to try and build up your speed quickly. Now, as you'll see, I'm slowing right up and I'm using the whole of the slip road because of that clown in front of me. He was in lane 2 when I pulled round that bend there. He was in lane 2. You can just about see it on the rear camera here where he's come from, and he was going some speed as well. So he wasn't helping anyone out other than himself, and that is what I'm saying, that you can't, you know, they're not going to do you any favours, so don't look for it. So he does me no favours here at all. It wasn't a problem because I never expect anyone to do me any favours at these slip roads. It's all down to me getting on safely without interfering with them. But it doesn't help if they're going to go from lane 2 to lane 1 at the bloody junction. So I've literally just got on this road and I'm coming off of this road to go onto another road. Yes, you know, the good old M25. Now, and as I've kept saying here, don't expect favours from anyone. But what you can do yourself a favour on a slip road is by letting someone in front of you, like that clown in front of me here, get away from you. Let him go, because it gives you more room to manoeuvre. It gives you more room to speed up or slow down, and you're not in anyone's way in front of you. Now, this will look quite simple. Just a simple pull out, and you see me speed up. You can see the car actually speeding up quite quickly there, because I had a car that was pretty much doing the same speed as me, but because I'd left a big gap in front of me, I had space to actually manoeuvre. Now the car still tried to accommodate me behind. You see it in the inside lane there? We're almost doing the same speed, and you'll see me pull away from him. He's moved out to try and help me out, but he didn't have to because I put my foot down to get away from him, and that's decent braking distance that I've pulled in on there. But the car behind still tried to help me out though. So now we come to a slip road where no one tries to help anyone out. We got this red car that's pulled out of that junction there. We've got a blue car next to me that's overtaken at a completely wrong time to do it. The red car is going way too slow to get onto this A road here. Way too slow. Forcing everyone to go around him or stop behind him basically, because he was going that slow it'd almost be a stop. Now if we go to the rear camera now, you'll see the car behind me. Terrible time to overtake. Stupid, really. Yeah, there's a time and a place to overtake, and that probably wasn't the best place to overtake. So the red car's come out of that junction there where the self-storage is and not got any speed up at all, forcing everyone out into the middle lane, or you drive really, really slow behind it. I didn't cut the Porsche up. He was alright with it, and I was alright with it. But the thing is, because that car was going too slow to enter this road, if the middle lane would have been full up and busy, there would have been a lot of horns going off, I can assure you of that. So there's one thing, speed up to the correct speed before entering. Now on this slip road, it's very similar to the last one. The front vehicle is going way too slow to enter this road. This is a 70 mile an hour speed limit road, and the front vehicle is going too slow. But it could be the fact that it can't go any faster. You know, and you've got to make allowances for that. So give him some space, give yourself some space, and pull back. So we're entering this road now, and we're all going too slow for the road because of the front vehicle. But the Kia there in the middle just pulls out into the middle lane. you're not going fast enough for the middle lane. So everyone in the middle lane now is hitting the brakes and waiting behind it. So when we go to the rear camera now, it's going to be very rare that you hear me say this, but in lane 1 over there, there is an Audi that's very accommodating and a very nice driver, because it moves out into lane 2 and accommodates the Porsche and myself coming onto the road. Now we're on the A3 at the moment, and there will be a slip road coming on, and I am in the inside lane. Obviously I would like to accommodate the people coming on and move over, but I can't. I've got a car that's quite close to me on my right hand side, and I cannot move over at the moment. It's a shame, because it is a learner. As soon as that car goes past me, I get out of the way. But as I keep saying, it's not down for me to get out of the way, it's down for you guys coming on to slow down or speed up. But like I say, I will always try to help out, but sometimes you just can't, because there's a car overtaking me at the time when I would be liking to move out to give you a bit more space and time. We go to the rear camera in a second and I'll show you what it looked like from the rear, but you saw that there was a car in front of that car as well that just overtaken me before we got to that junction as well. So here's the car that's in question. It's just hanging on my side as I'm coming up to this junction, so it's doing me no favours whatsoever there. Now that was a pretty long slip road as well. For an A road, that was a pretty long slip road. Now on this road, especially when you're getting closer into town, the slip roads are almost just like normal turnings. And I'll show you one up here that it's almost like a turning. There's hardly any room for you to actually speed up onto. I don't even know whether you would call it a slip road, it's that short. You'll see it there on the left hand side. Now should this car have gone? No, definitely not. I've had to slow up to let it in there. It's affected me, so it should never have actually gone. But you'll see what sort of driver he is, because obviously he wants to get to the outside lane. He doesn't want the inside lane. There we go. One movement straight to the outside lane and bye! Now on this one, we're on the good old M25 again. I'm going to have to show you this right from the beginning though, I'm afraid. It's a bit long-winded. But I think you need to see the lorry that goes past me here, what a numpty he is for start off with. He's just overtaken me and he wants to get in that gap that's between me and the other lorry. Now you might think, well, he's left you enough braking distance and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, maybe. What a pointless overtake that was. And I say that because I knew what he was going to do. I knew the van or the lorry in front of me wasn't going fast enough for him, and he'd have to pull straight back out. I could see it happening before it happened. I had my crystal ball out again. But we're coming to another slip road. It's a service station. I think the geezer needs to go back in and have another coffee or a sleep or something. It's not this slip road going off, it's a slip road coming on. The guy must be half asleep or something. He doesn't actually look in his mirror. He couldn't have done. Otherwise he would know that there's two lorries there side by side, so they can't, the lorry in lane 1 here cannot get out of his way. Now this guy in the Kia here should be looking over his shoulder and looking in his mirror to see what his options are now. It's ages before he actually realises that there's someone there. Then he has to brake hard, the lorry has to get out of his way, and he's almost run out of slip road before he moves on. You should have been slowing up, letting that lorry go past you and then coming behind it, in front of me still. Just so slow to react. Now in this clip you'll see one of these drivers that expects you to move out. This one here, he expects you to move out of his way. Now he's got a newbie driver in front of him that's got a P on the car, and the gap that he's left in front of him and the newbie driver is alright at the moment, but he closes that up because he just expects me to get out of his way. I do, but it was quite difficult for me to get out of his way. He should have been reducing his speed and coming in later on. As you can see, he's pulling out no matter what. He's pulling out as I was pulling out. And that's the difference. That's why people are being taught the wrong way of doing this. It's not down to me to move out of your way. It's down to you to slow down or speed up to get into the gap. And in that case, he should have been slowing down. Because he had a car in front of him, he should have been slowing down and coming behind me. And as we go to the rear camera on that one, you'll see that there was 3 people that had to adjust what they were doing because of him. I had to adjust, I had to move out, the car in the outside lane had to slow down, the van has had to slow down to let this one out. And the only one that should have been reducing their speed and adjusting everything was the one that pulled out. Everyone else had to adjust to him. That's not what it says in the highway code, and that's not what you should be doing. Yes, you try to accommodate people, but where is he trying to accommodate the people that's already on this road? There wasn't any. So we're going back to the first clip now, because that's it for slip roads on this episode. I hope that helped you out, Michelle, for a few little tips of what you should and shouldn't do on slip roads. Obviously there are better people to explain it a little bit better than me on YouTube. So we've gone back to the first clip, and how many of you actually saw this the first time? And be honest in the comments section down below. I would be surprised if any of you saw it, because it is so quick. It's got something to do with this idiot that passes me. 40-mile-an-hour speed limit. He's obviously not doing that. Whoa. Show me that wasn't a fucking flash. Yep, he got flashed by the camera. I did think it was for me, to be honest. I did look down at my speedo and I was alright, but he obviously wasn't. As you go to the rear camera now, you'll see it better on the rear camera flashing. Obviously he's not doing anywhere near 40 miles an hour. And you will actually see the camera to the right hand side flash away at him. Whoa. Show me that wasn't a fucking flash. Did any of you get it? Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.